Now, this room seems familiar, doesn't it? We know it from the first part. It's the bridge of Bozo's trawler. We just docked at the floating black market, so what else is there I didn't already tell you about this room? Maybe... yes, there's something. I scripted the intro cutscene myself here. That was great fun. One of the last steps we take is actually staging our scenes. Speaking in terms of order, the whole game is first scripted with dummies and placeholders. At that point, we haven't created all the visuals. Then we add the backgrounds, and after that, we animate the characters corresponding to the backgrounds. So basically, we let them do all their special actions they have to perform with in certain scenes. That's a crapload of work if you have to do it all by frame instead of just telling the character to do this or that, like you can simply do it in 3D games. Yeah, it's probably not that simple, but in 2D, very few things are recyclable if they are tailored towards certain backgrounds. And thus we end up with a huge pile of special animations we can't use again. There are multi-purpose animations though, things we can use again, that are directly linked to the characters, facial expressions or things like the morning stretch routine. That one is, for example, from an idle animation. We can reuse that if the character is supposed to yawn and stretch, or when taking a look around in the sense of, oh, where have the others gone? We also have a solid pool of close-up animations by now. That's a good thing about a game you had to split in 3 parts. We pile up a lot of those standard animations and can actually animate without losing precious time or money we don't have to begin with. The related technique is something I grew really fond of. We have this close-up scene, for example, where Rufus reads that letter. This scene is a patchwork from other Rufus close-ups. I still take it on visually, cut them and fiddle in different facial expressions that were never meant for Rufus, yet still serve as backup animation pool. I enjoy this sort of tinkering. The true reward, however, came with Goodbye Deponia, since Rufus acquired a great pool of roughly 20 different emotions: pissed, bored, daring, vicious, evil, happy, silly, all kinds of stuff, really. The more animations we had, the more fun was this final touch, the pimping, the polishing, and staging.
I would love to claim that I don't rummage around in trash, but who am I kidding? After all, this is Deponia. Blah! Slimy. Oh, that is disgusting. No, I've had it. I simply do not belong here. Wait! What's this? Hey, that's my old anchovy bait. It's still good. I can't leave here, not without gold. Nothing beats a fresh breeze from the sea. The smell of freedom and adventure. And tar and toxic chemicals. And Tony's mother?
You're scaring the fish.
Rotten fish. Close enough. But this native presents a welcome opportunity to make use of my cosmopolitan tactfulness and my linguistic skills. Me, Rufus, where I find lab belong to Doc.
Are you talking to me, ape man? We put maps up for people like you.
You mean heroes passing through?
I mean people we prefer not to talk to.
Hey, just so you know it, I have an excellent sense of direction. I don't need your stinking maps.
So what you looking at it for?
I'm not looking. I'm just shooting it a contemptuous glance. Doc's office is in the industrial park. But where's the tavern? Well, who cares? I guess I'll go see Doc first then. First, I have to help Doc. Can't have the old coot grab...
Oh, the things you have to do to design a game. In this case, it's installing pipes. The pipe labyrinth over there will play an important role in the game's course. We had to redesign it a few times, but more on that later on. There's, you might have guessed it, yet another small corresponding minigame, and I like minigames. Above anything else, we installed pipes all over the level. Originally, it was supposed to be one of the most vicious puzzles, at least among those in Chapter 4. That's because it's a puzzle complex where you have to not only combine items, but also had to relate them to each other. Among other things, the differently colored pipes were part of that, and we had to lay them all through the level. Jeez, this puzzle was literally all over the place until we figured out a satisfying mechanic. That was another great collaboration with Bade, our head of game design, who kept bugging me, "That's complicated, Pokey! People just won't get it," but eventually we polished it and got differently colored pipes as a result. Down there it's actually brassy and not so different to the pipes you see there after all. Maybe I should have talked about this in another screen. What else can I tell you about the screen? Probably that there's a pretty old scribble done by Micha from the time before he found the actually Deponia style. It was among the first buildings he sketched for the floating black market. And that was, in fact, Doc's houseboat. You can't really tell from this angle that it's a houseboat. From the other direction, it's probably more obvious. But the form was pretty similar in Micha's sketch. Nah, not really. Yeah, well, turns out I got nothing on this after all.
According to the delivery note, the crate contains a replacement airbag for the canal gondolas. White, of all things, the wet blanket among colors. What a cute little doggy you are!
I beg your pardon? My name is Cleverbite. I'm an autonomous, cybernetically highly developed service unit, programmed to perform complex security tasks.
Cleverbite! Oh, such an amusing name for a robo-dog.
I will not suffer such indignities. Through the neuronal connection of computer circuits with organic cerebral matter, I am capable of processing more than 3,000 floating point operations per second.
Can you sit up and beg?
Perhaps not, but I could sit up and grab something until you beg me to let go.
You know, you've got quite an attitude for a cyber-whatever mongrel, but I'm pretty sure that your bark is worse than your bite.
Do you hear me barking then?
I don't know. All I can hear is
Me, nerdy ramblings, me.
I'll ask Doc to make you a cyber muzzle.
To do that, you would need to get past me, right?
I'm not going to allow some stupid mutt to block my path.
Actually, I'm a superior cybernetic.
Me, superior, me.
Let me show you who is superior here. Down!
I am not sure I have comprehended your intention.
That's because you're only a silly dog.
It might help if you could talk in complete sentences.
Down, boy!
Bravo! With a little more effort, you might indeed be capable of forming an entire sentence.
Ha! Piece of cake. I hereby demand that you perform the act of down.
Good boy. But I'm still not sure what you're really trying to tell me.
Well, down! Down! See? Like this!
This guy cracks me up.
Let me through. I have to see Doc.
Oh, but I can't do that. If I let you through, my designation as a watchdog would be completely compromised.
And if you don't, you'll be completely compressed. I think you're forgetting who's the superior species here.
Then why don't you simply show me?
Will you please let me in?
That sounds better already. But I didn't quite get the third word you said.
Please,
Talk directly into the audio interface.
if you insist. Please, 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 please!
Stop it! Oh, please, stop! You're
Overloading my circuits!
Who's a good robot dog?
I need to think about that one. Your mother, perhaps?
What? Oh, you rotten! Stupid mutt!
What? You're giving up already? How disappointing.
Doc's workshop. Probably a good opportunity to try to explain how I think video games as narrative media can do things other non-interactive media like film or books can't achieve quite as well. Especially this scene where we have Clever Bite blocking the entrance to Doc's workshop is a good example of congruity between the external conflict of a guard dog and the inner conflicts that Rufus has to face. It shows his inability to acknowledge the superiority of this highly intelligent and technological, sophisticated robot dog, which leads to him going through far more trouble than he'd actually have to.
Okay, look, I'm like an actress, right? I play every scene as you'd expect me to, and nobody would ever know what goes on inside me. Nobody will ever figure that out. My cousin didn't, my geography teacher didn't, my parole officer didn't, neither did those 3 shrinks and my various exes. Nobody ever managed. Nobody. Because I've got a serious poker face. And what I did there, in that scene, those inner conflicts, this congruity pressure, that's all just an act. But it's so well acted, in fact, that everybody thinks they figured out what, But nope, just give up, people. You will never know. Especially not you, Pokey.
Alright. But there's another thing about Clever Bite. It's actually a little amicable nod towards a friend of mine, a programmer, highly talented computer nerd from a circle of friends where it was etiquette to have as many pseudonyms as possible, programmer street names, so to speak. By the time now, they relax a little bit about that, I reckon. But I stumbled across that habit they had developed at some point in their use, and I thought it's pretty funny that his name in the scene was Clever Bite. It was so funny, actually, that I just adapted it into the game right away. And for a robot dog, it was especially fitting, Clever Bite.
Yeah, I got it. Hey, look what I've got! And now, be a good dog and fetch the stick. What's wrong? Fetch the stick, or are you too stupid?
Yes, exactly. That's it.
Fetch that stick.
No.
You go fetch that stick now. Attaboy!
If you're so fond of that stick, why don't you go get it yourself? And if you're a good boy, I might even let you pass.
Go on! I just threw a stick, and you are a dog. So, what do dogs do in a case like this?
I wait for you to make an even bigger fool of yourself?
No, wrong! You fetch the stick. Or are you too stupid? Wait. I'll show you how it's done.
Oh, boy. You didn't really just do that, did you? I can't take it anymore. And what now?
What do you think? I have to get to dock.
Not a chance. I can't let anyone past.
Oh, you can let me. I'm accredited.
You don't mean accredited, do you? I would know about that.
I don't care what you know or don't know. I'm not going to let some wind-up flea circus get in my way. And I'm certainly not going to let you correct me. No way.
Far be it from me to correct you, sir. Unless, of course, you consider a bitten calf a correction.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, okay. I'll put this so that even you understand it.
Arruff! Oh, why didn't you say so? Hey, look what I've got! And now, be a good dog and fetch the stick. What's wrong? Fetch the stick, or are you too stupid?
Yes, exactly. That's it.
Fetch that stick. Ugh. Wait. I'll show a poop.
Oh boy.
Exactly. That barking trash can may think he can shock me, but I'll show him what a shock. What the shock. Oh, whatever. Some ingenious pun with shock. Shock. Because of the electric shock and so on. Oh, come on, Rufus. You don't need a punchline to be brilliant. Now he's in for a nasty shock. Hey, what's wrong? Are you giving up?
Yes, you were right. This stick business is just too much for me.
You stupid muddy cur. Here, like this. You put the stick in your mouth.
Oh boy, I can't take it anymore. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, 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 oh boy.
Hey, Doc.
Rufus. At last. Goal really almost bought it this time.
But, as I can see, you have everything under control. I'll, go look for Bozo then. He mentioned a tavern.
Her implant has been badly damaged. I need to operate right away. There's only one problem. The data cartridge is not going to survive the procedure.
I take it that's a bad thing?
Well, yes. Her entire mind is stored on the thing. Her memory, her character.
The ascension codes?
I can save the data, but I need a bunch of empty cartridges.
And these cartridges are hard to obtain?
Not really. This is the floating black market, after all. There's nothing you can't get here. And brain implants are currently all the rage. I installed another one just the other day. You will find the cartridges in the gadget shop.
What? Why me?
Because I need to get ready for the surgery.
And I need to familiarize myself with the local circumstances. Bozo said something about a tavern?
Rufus,
All right. So I get those cartridges in the gadget shop?
it's right by the harbor, outside the city gate. Just have them charged to my account. But make very sure that you get the good cartridges. The cheap ones are bound to cause problems.
Well, it's your money.
Ugh, unconscious again. Great.
Patience! This is only the beginning of the game and...
Protagonist.
Come on. Rufus is already there and he can assist Doc to bring you back into action.
What protagonist sleeps all the time?
Why, there are plenty. Sleeping Beauty or Meg Ryan in Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she did sleep. She slept all the... Alright, the title has Sleepless in it, but... Well, that's about Tom Hanks. Well, at least I fell asleep while watching. Somebody's sleeping. And so are you. It's only a temporary condition. Moving on. And now we're on the way to Doc's lab. Or if you click this later, we are leaving Doc's lab. Or maybe you're on your way back in. Don't know. This is more of a gangway screen, a little space in between with a very parallel construction. This doesn't seem to carry any significance right now, but later on the screen will lead to my, and I don't say that lightly, I say it often, but never lightly, favorite screen in Chaos on Deponia. There will be, naturally, great chaos. Rufus will be confronted with a very special person. I can't tell you right now, but the scene is gonna be brilliant. Oh, what's that smell? Must be self-praise. Let's get out of here, but enjoy that scene later on anyway.
Hey, you.
Who? Me?
No, we're talking to the three-headed platypus behind you.
We've been watching you.
We know what you're planning.
Oh yeah? Seems like you know more than I do.
News spreads fast in the floating black market. You've got something very valuable there.
It mustn't fall into the wrong hands.
And your hands would be the right ones?
Let's just say we're friends.
We're the good guys.
We fight against oppression by the Organon.
Death to the Organon.
The Organon is planning something
Something unspeakable.
so unspeakable that we cannot talk about it.
We've got to go,
We've already said too much.
but we'll be back.
And then we'll get what is rightfully ours.
Do not talk about this to anybody.
Keep your back to the wall.
And do not forget who your true friends are.
Death to the Organon.
Death to the Organon.
What was that all about?
My head of game design, Bade, always is between rock and a hard place in terms of discussions with me, that is. Otherwise, we get along perfectly fine. But he suffers from the fact that he is the most competent game design expert who has to check the game design of all our games. Of course, he's also an employee in a company I have some stakes in. So basically, I'm his superior. And that puts him in a tough position when he needs to convince me of something, since in a worst case scenario, could just tell him, nope, ain't gonna happen. Most of the time he's right though. Anyway, and this room kept us busy for a long time, especially Bade. He used to look at it and said something like, "Oh man, no change of levels, Pokey. Don't put so many exits in there, Pokey." I mean, are there so many level changes at all, anyway? I mean, there's this particularly ugly one. And how many exits have we got? 1, 2, counting these other 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. 7, if you count the one leading to the arena later on. Good God, we have so many exits!